Order the meeting of the Fall River Licensing Board. Today is Wednesday, May 15th, 2019, and for the record, all members of the board are present. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived by those present, and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. When your matter is called, please come down to this table and state your name and address for the record. First item on the agenda are one-day permits. St. Anthony's Band Club, 1040 Pine Street, Paul Vitello.
Good evening, everybody. Paul Vitello, 65 Plain Street, Fall River, Mass. 02723.
Thank you. Can you just try to speak up a little bit so it's picked up by the recording, please, okay?
Sure.
So this is a request for one-day permits for July 12th, 13th, and 14th.
Yes,
Is that
sir.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I believe this is probably the annual feast that you have, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So on July 12th and 13th is from 5 p.m. to midnight, and it's beer and wine. And on the 14th, it's 9 a.m. to 10 p.m.,
Yes.
and that is beer and wine also. Just a question. Historically, I don't remember ever giving a permit for 9 o'clock in the morning.
That's for the parade. I guess we have the procession at 9 o'clock to the church, and then from,
They're not drinking on the way to church, are
no,
they?
no.
So then the permit wouldn't be at 9 a.m. You're saying that your festivities start at
Yes.
9. When do you go back to the band club and start your things there?
12 o'clock.
So it would be noon time that you would
Yes.
want it, right?
Yes.
Can I just point something out? I'm just noticing this. In your letter, I think someone just took an old letter. It says July 12th, 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. On here it says 5 p.m. Then on the 13th, it says 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. This says 5. And Sunday, it says 4 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. So we need to get those hours clarified. On the written one, you say 5 to midnight,
Yes.
the first 2 days. Is that what you want?
Yes, 5
Do I
to
have your
midnight.
permission to change that?
Yes, sir.
And on Sunday, when you go back at noontime, is there anything going on at noontime there, or is
We're
that-
gonna be given the soups, and we're gonna be given drinks to the whoever's there to.
Right, drinks,
drink.
but in alcoholic drinks? Or
They're gonna be
yeah?
some wine
So you would
and
want
beer.
that to start at noontime?
Yes, sir.
And on here, you say 10 p.m., is that when it ends?
That's when we get the parade going to
No,
the church.
10 p.m. at
PM,
night.
that's gonna finish
That's the
everything.
end.
That's the end.
So on Sunday, you really need it from 12 noon to
To 10.
10 p.m.?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, just so we're on the same page. This is an annual event, we've never had any issues with them, and the proceeds benefit your band club, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, are there any questions from the members of the board?
No questions.
Is there anyone else here in favor? Is there anyone opposed?
I'll make a motion that we grant the one-day permits for July 12th, July 13th, and July 14th.
And I'll second that motion.
A motion made and seconded to grant. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. St. Cecilia Band Club, 293 Almond Street, John Silva.
I am John Silva, representing St. Cecilia Band, 293 Almond Street.
Okay. And again, this is an annual event, correct? Your Holy Ghost Feast.
Yes, sir.
So again, you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Correct.
And on yours, you have Friday, you have it at 5 p.m. to 11 p.m.,
Yes.
beer and wine. Saturday, 5 p.m. to midnight, and Sunday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Correct.
All beer and wine, again benefiting the club itself, correct?
Yes, sir.
And the charity work that you do.
Right.
Okay. Are there any questions from the members of the board?
No questions.
Again, this is an annual event. Is there anyone else here in favor? Is there anyone opposed? Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion that we grant the 3-day permits for June 21st, June 22nd, and June 23rd.
I'll second that motion.
It's a motion made and seconded to grant. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Lockapalooza, South Main Street, Monica Souza. Okay, we're gonna table that, she's not here yet. You want a motion
Make
to
a motion that we
table?
table the matter.
Second the motion.
Okay, this motion made and seconded to table. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Espírito Santo Church, 311 Alden Street, Reverend Maurice O. Garvin.
Reverend Mauricio Garvin, 311 Alden Street, pastor of Espírito Santo.
Okay, so this is, again, an annual feast. It's Memorial Day weekend, correct?
Correct,
Okay,
correct.
so the Friday evening, 6 PM to 11 PM, Saturday, 6 PM to 11 PM, and Sunday, 6 PM to 11 PM, all beer and wine licenses.
Correct.
The proceeds benefit, obviously, the parish or
parish.
the Holy Ghost, right?
Yep.
Okay. Any questions?
No
Is this the
questions.
first time you've done this?
In a
The
while, because
alcohol?
we've just been given permission to sell alcoholic stuff, beverages again by the
Oh,
diocese.
really, by the
Yeah.
diocese, right? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I was gonna say, because I know that was prohibited for a long time, right?
They just set up some new rules.
Okay, okay, good. All right, so you know that you need to have police coverage then?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Any questions?
No questions.
Is there anyone else here in favor? Is there anyone opposed?
I'll make a motion that we grant the one-day permits for May 24th, May 25th, and May 26th.
And I'll second the motion.
Motion made and seconded to grant. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Don't
Good
forget
luck.
to pick up your licenses from the office.
Okay,
Okay, they'll be tomorrow or whatever.
Okay, thank you.
Anytime after.
all right.
Okay. The Liberal Club, 20 Star Street, Kevin Palmer.
And you thought you were gonna get rid of
I thought
me.
you retired. When I saw the name, I
Blame
said,
Boston.
You
Didn't last
can't stay
long.
away.
Yeah, I
30
just love it
days.
there. Kevin Palmer, 20 Star Street, Liberal Club, Fall River.
Okay, and this also is an annual event, correct?
Yes, for
It's
the
a-
young, for the benefit of the Young Marines organization here in the city.
Okay, so it's looking for the 19th of May, which is this Sunday.
Yes.
It's 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., beer and wine. And as Kevin said, it's for the benefit of the young Marines in Fall River. They've had many one-day permits out there, we haven't had any issues over the years, so. Any questions from the members of the board?
No
Questions?
questions.
Is there anyone else here in favor? Is there anyone opposed? Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion that we grant the one-day permit for May 19th.
I'll second that motion.
So motion made and seconded. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank
Good seeing
you.
you.
Nice seeing you.
I'll be back. For my Holy Ghost feast.
Here we go.
Casa de Benfica, 207 South Main Street, Marco Cordero. Marco Cordero,
Make a motion that we table.
Second the motion.
it's a motion made to table. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor? Aye. Common victular license, China Taste Inc., 350 Rodman Street.
You don't speak much English, can I?
That's okay,
Yeah.
that's okay, sit down.
Thank you.
Could you state your name and address for the record, please?
Yes. Mình nhớ cũng là thị trấn này.
Name is Jun Tuan Chang, and 350 Norman Street.
Ramen Street.
Yeah.
Rodman Street, okay.
Yes.
And what is your name, please, for the record?
My name is Jenny.
Jenny? Okay.
Yes.
So this is an application for a common victular license at 350 Rodman Street.
Yes.
That was already a restaurant, correct?
Yes.
Do you know what the name of it was?
It's New China.
It was New China before?
Yes.
Okay. And obviously, China Taste, it's going to be
Yes.
another Chinese restaurant.
Yes.
What are you thinking as far as hours go?
It's Sunday to Thursday, 11 to 10:30, and the Friday, Saturday is 11 to 11.
Okay. Are there any plans to renovate the building, make any changes, or it's just
No, we keep
ready to
all
go?
the same.
It's all the
Yes.
same, okay.
Uh-huh.
We have your police report, we contacted the police, everything is good, they have no problem with the license being issued. That's a good thing.
Thank you.
And it says that you have a seating capacity of 11, so do you are you planning on doing mostly takeout?
Yes.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
okay. Are you all set with your health certificate?
Yes.
You have that already?
Yes.
Okay. We have your tax certificate, everything's good.
Thank you.
We have the DBA certificate. It's all set. So you don't live far from there either, right?
No, we live very close to
Yeah,
there.
so you can walk to work.
Yes.
Okay, everything is there. Any questions?
No questions.
Is there anyone else here in favor? Is there anyone opposed? Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion that we grant the common victualer's license.
And I'll second that motion.
So motion made and seconded to grant the license. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Good luck.
Good luck. So
Let
you
us
just
know if
gotta
anything.
go back to see Carrie.
Uh-huh.
And she'll give you the actual license. And
Okay.
that license has to be displayed in the restaurant where people can see it.
Okay.
And before I forget, I'm doing this at every meeting, any licenses that are granted this evening will expire on December 31st of this year. Probably in October, there will be a package sent to everyone for renewals.
Okay.
There's gonna be no second chances this year. If you do not submit your license in time to be reviewed by the board in November, you will lose the license as of December 31st. So the responsibility is going to be on the people who have the licenses, okay?
Okay. Do you know where the address they sent to?
They'll send it to
The
whatever address you
business-
have on the paperwork.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
So when I can get a license?
Tomorrow, you can go
Tomorrow?
down and see Carrie,
Okay.
yep, and you'll be all set to go, okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Class 2, Capo Auto Sales, 1480 South Main Street, Antonio Costa.
How you doing?
Good, and you?
Tony Costa, 1480 South Main.
Okay. So, tell us what you're looking to do.
Selling used cars, so from from 1,000 to 15,000 is pretty much what we're targeting.
Sales price?
Yep. We are employing right now, we're gonna have 4 salespeople and 1 office girl.
Okay. And where exactly is 1480 South Main?
Lenny's Bakery?
Deal self-entitled.
Oh, the South End
Okay.
Toyota?
Yes, there you go.
I'm looking here, say 100 cars, I'm like, where they gonna put those?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's all it's gonna be, is the
Correct.
cost, no
That's it.
repairs?
No,
And we do have the police report?
yep,
You're good to go?
yep, I gave them a call, yep.
Okay. What are your hours expected to be?
They are from 9 to 6. I think on Saturday we're at 10 to 5.
So 9 to 6, Monday to Friday, 10 to 5 Saturday?
I think that's what we have
Closed
on the door.
Sunday.
Yep.
Okay. You got your police report, you have your articles.
You're about ready to go over there, aren't you?
Yes,
I
we
drove by
are.
there today.
Yes.
I was like, gotta be coming in front of us. Lo and behold, you're here, so good to get used to that property. I hate to see it vacant.
Yep.
Sounds good.
So do you own that property, or you?
I own the property also,
You
yes.
own it? Good for you. All right, everything's here. Everything's in order. The police have approved it. So, any questions?
No
All
question.
No questions.
right, is there anyone else here in favor? Is there anyone opposed?
Make a motion that we grant the Class 2 license.
And I'll second that motion.
So motion made and seconded to grant. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Good luck.
Thank
Let
you.
us know if
Guys,
you
have a good-
Yeah, if you need anything, let us know. Sonny's Auto Sales, 2389 South Main Street, Sonia Farrow.
Oh, that's a liar. So we haven't made that decision yet.
Good afternoon, Sonia Farrow, 2389 South Main Street, Fall River.
And where is that one?
We're neighbors. It's Tiverton line, almost,
The old A&W root beer?
yes.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
yep,
Oh.
all right. Good job, Eric.
Yeah.
Do you know it because of the car lot or the A&W?
That's the
There are
grand.
stipulations on that license, am I right?
Yeah, there are a bunch.
And I've gotten a call from a neighbor that is not very happy, so we have to make sure that you're a good neighbor coming
Okay.
on to this,
What
okay?
was-
There was, in regards, I think, of auto repair. You definitely, we would probably have to pull up the old file, but they're remember, you're absolutely right. They were more than just the average,
Was that from the zoning board? Yeah.
So, and I believe.
I remember that because there was a neighbor on one side that was not
He just
happy.
called me last week.
and it got held up for a couple months, and then we ironed it out,
Yeah.
and they,
Were you aware of that when you
No.
went into this?
No.
So the landlord did not tell you that?
No,
I mean, we can,
Carlos, right?
yes.
yeah, I would suggest tabling this matter so you can know
Yeah, you
what
want to
you're
make
up
sure what
against.
you're getting into because there were
Okay.
quite a few restrictions
Okay.
Well,
But we're-
and it had to do with repairs and
and hours.
work on site and hours. I mean,
Costs.
it wasn't just
Numbers.
the average, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, outdoor storage.
Right,
yeah.
No work,
Oh.
no work on Sunday.
Yes, right, you can
Okay.
only, yeah.
So
Well, we're not gonna, I wasn't gonna be open on Sunday.
Yeah,
and,
but in a case like this, that should have been disclosed to you by the
Okay.
landlord because it may restrict what you want to do.
And the fact that we know that you're not aware of it concerns us.
Okay.
Not because we remember, but the fact that there are, I mean, you're agreeing to something that you're not completely aware of, and we don't feel comfortable doing that. I mean, we
Okay.
can table this matter to next month.
We can table it and, sometimes things come up with our board that we're asked to have a special we need to have a special meeting. If we do, Kerry could always notify you.
Okay. I would-
And if
yeah.
Kerry, you could probably pull the old license, right? And get you a copy of
Okay, of
what's
what's
there,
going
Yeah.
what
on,
those
okay.
restrictions, so you know.
We're
Okay.
not trying to hold you up by any means, but the last thing we want you to do is enter into agreement that you're not
Yes.
aware of,
Yep.
and then we approved.
Okay.
Okay, so are you comfortable with that, to table it to the next, well, it would be tabled to the next meeting of the board, whether
Okay.
that's sooner than a month from now or not?
We can't go on with this
No,
now.
well,
No,
it's
no.
gonna go subject to all of the restrictions.
And you're gonna agree to
Yeah.
something that you're not aware of, so how can we go on, right?
Yeah, it's not really, it's not in your best.
I know you wanna open up, but you sure you wanna agree to something you have no clue in agreeing to? You know what I mean?
Okay.
We're trying to look at your best
I know.
interest. I'll make a motion that we table this matter to the next meeting.
And I'll second that one.
Okay.
The motion to table, which is made and seconded. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alteration of premises, Troy City Brewing LLC, 16 Anawan Street, Michael Ferrera.
Good evening, Board, 16 Anawan Street, Michael Ferrera.
Okay, so can you just tell us brief, I think we know what you're looking to do, but. for the
Yeah, so we're
record-
just pretty much in our courtyard area, looking to add some picnic tables and some oak barrels as drink
Okay.
holders.
So when we did the site
Right.
visit there, when they were almost done with the construction, we saw that there's an enclosed area. It's probably gonna be the safest place to have outdoor seating in Fall River because you have to go down an alley and into an open area.
But I think we have the former licensee who used to run that outdoor area here too, so.
So-
That area's been licensed before, so.
Yes, and they're actually putting up a new wrought iron fence soon, too, in the front, so.
In the front. Is there any limit on what you think and how much that holds?
We don't have a exact capacity yet, we're only looking for like 30 seats tops.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah,
it's not really huge.
No, no.
Okay, yeah, it's
Yeah.
big. And so you're gonna do picnic table type thing?
Exactly.
Okay. All right, and the police have approved it. They have no problem with it. So, I don't have any questions on that. Usually we ask about seasonal time with that,
Right,
when you would want it to run.
sure.
I don't think you're gonna be out there in February drinking.
No, no,
beer.
yeah.
Most of them run from
May
like
1st.
May 1st.
Yeah, that'd be fine with us.
To October, the
October.
middle of October, is
That's
that okay?
perfect.
So May 1st, October 15th?
Okay.
That good?
It's good. Yep.
That gets you through Columbus Day
Sure.
and, okay?
Right.
Okay, are there any questions from the members of the board?
No questions?
Is there anyone else in favor? Is there anyone opposed? Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we grant the alteration of premises.
And I'll second that motion.
Motion made and seconded to grant. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
You also have an entertainment license request from the same applicant for recorded music and live music, dancing by patrons, requesting Monday to Thursday, 4 to midnight, Friday, 4 to 12 to midnight, and Saturday, 11 a.m. to midnight.
Yes, but we can actually change some of those times.
Right, if you can tell me what you'd like.
Yep, can we actually change that to Wednesday through Saturday? I'm sorry, Wednesday through Friday, 3 to 9. And then Saturday is 12 to 9. And Sunday, 12 to 6.
We can't issue a license for you for
Okay.
Sundays. You gotta
Oh,
go
okay,
to the
that's-
mayor's office for that.
Okay, I can do that.
If you want that.
Yeah, he had
Council
approved it
Member.
already, but we'll get it for him.
All right, so it'd be Wednesday to Friday, 3 to 9, Saturday, 12 to 9.
Correct.
All's going well over there?
So far, so good?
Good.
Okay, any questions about the entertainment license?
No questions.
Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed?
Mr. Chairman, I'm assuming with
Someone
both
up there.
inside and outside?
Correct.
All right, can
Yes.
you, if you want to come down, please, you can state your name and address for the record.
My name is Paul Pereira. I'm representing Kiki Stamos, 28 Anawan Street. She's just worried, a little concerned about some of that property being her property. There is no divided line or anything like that, so she's just a little concerned.
In the court.
In the
Courtyard.
courtyard, that's correct, sir.
And what's your relationship to the?
I work for Kiki Stamos. She asked me, I know she asked me to just represent her. She has no problem with it, but she also has a surveyor there who's surveying the property and just wanted to make sure they can mark out the lines and we can secure the area so they can do whatever
Yeah,
they'd
where
like
the
to do.
tables we're gonna go is
You
on
folks have
our.
the same landlord?
Different.
No.
No, different, yeah.
Almost like the same building connected.
is, yeah.
All right, yeah, I mean, first of all, that's not something we get into.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's got to be addressed through the property owners to get that established.
Mm-hmm.
And once it's established, obviously, you can only have your tables.
Yeah, on our side, it's on the
Where it's
left,
gonna be.
yep.
Okay?
And this board has approved that spot prior to
Yeah.
the prior owner. I don't know how long.
She has no problems
Okay.
with what's going on. She goes, Paul, she goes, I just don't want them on the property,
Oh, I agree.
our property. I'm like, oh, okay, no problem, what do you want me to do? So she sent me here.
Yeah,
Okay.
to
I'm
live-
only addressing her concern. She
Okay.
lives in Chicago, so.
Yep, no, that's fine. So what'll have to happen is if there's an issue with her survey and they mark out the area, you
Right.
just need, and if, obviously, if your landlord says, no, that's not the correct line, you can do whatever you need to do to resolve it, but as
Sure.
long as you're within your property line.
Right,
Where you
yeah.
believe to be,
Yep.
you know, you should.
Yeah, it's right outside our door, so I can't see that not being his
Okay.
property, but they
All
can
right.
figure it out.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you very much
Yep,
for
no
coming in, yeah. All right, so on the entertainment license, is there,
I'll make a motion that we approve the entertainment license.
And I'll second the motion.
okay, so motion made and seconded to grant. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for coming.
Transfer of license, pledge of license, change of manager. Vidya Corp., DBA Globe Liquors, 180 President Avenue.
Good evening, Matthew Porter, 480 Turnpike Street, Easton, Massachusetts. I'm the attorney for the applicant.
Pankaj Kumar Patel. It's 300 North Main Street, Oxbridge, Massachusetts.
Okay. So this is Globe Liquors on President Avenue, correct?
Correct. Yep. So before the board, this is just the transfer of the license, a pledge of that license to Rockland Trust relates to the sale of the business itself. So no major changes to the store whatsoever, no changes to the hours. Financing is all in place. So certainly, I can answer any questions that you may have, as well as the applicant, but both shareholders have liquor license experience. Everyone will be tip certified.
Okay, that's one of my first question is gonna be, do they own any other license? Do you own another license? Liquor license?
No.
No?
Yes, you're a shareholder. He's a
Oh, yeah.
shareholder in a corporation. Yes, so
Sorry,
yes, he does, in Worcester.
In Worcester.
Yep.
Not important.
So are you, without getting through all of it? I'll
No,
ask you
Naina
questions,
Patel, the other shareholder will be the manager of
the
this
manager,
location.
so
And she
you're
does,
not gonna physically be in Fall River, you're gonna be at the other location?
he'll be here as well.
I'll be
you know,
here
but-
as well.
But he's not the listed manager on
But,
it.
so the corporations that own it anyway, it's not individuals?
That's exactly right.
The other person that's asking to be the manager, you're asking to be the manager, does that person have experience?
She does, yeah, she has retail experience. I think she's been in the industry for about a decade. She doesn't have any licenses under her name, but
Okay.
yeah, she has experience in the
And
industry.
how much time do you think she's gonna be on the premises?
Yeah, she'll be there anywhere between 35 and 40 hours, and if she's not there, Pankaj will be there as well.
Yep.
So be all hands on deck.
Okay. As far as the license, the pledge of the license, it's Rockland Trust.
Correct.
Is it a 20-year commercial?
I think it's 10. I think Rockland does 10. It may be a 20-year amortization, but it's a 10-year term. So Sergio Dorigo, Rockland, who's, I think you guys have had a couple pledges with Rockland Trust for stores in the city.
So the property, it's a lease?
No, the property's being sold as well, so. I'm sorry, no, that's incorrect.
Where's
Yeah,
the
there'll
lease
be,
right
there'll
now?
be a lease, so, yeah, so the seller is selling the business, their other
the
entity
building.
is retaining the real estate, and that'll be leased to our folks.
Paper that way.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys have any questions?
No questions?
No questions?
Okay. Police report is in, and it's fine.
Three motions.
Correct. Those eyes are working.
Huh?
Your eyes are working.
Yeah.
So this police report, though, says it's for him,
Not for the manager.
not for the manager. It should be on the manager, correct?
Correct.
What did I provide? It's stapled. The other papers.
The two names are there, and it's only on one. Do you know if they spoke to the police? Do you do these?
I did hope.
So, do you,
We had contacted the city and were told that we were all set, so, yeah.
well, it says it's approved. So my question is, since she's the manager, we need a police report on
So
her,
she's approved, right? Right.
saying that she's approved, right? So we could approve it,
Pending.
the transfer.
Sure.
And then just wait for the police, pending a favorable police report on her.
Okay.
As a manager.
So what needs to be done on our end?
The detective.
You're lucky
right there
he's here
behind you.
tonight, so-
He's right there behind
All
you.
right. Love it.
So on your way out, you can speak to him, okay?
Happy to do that.
But just so we could do it, so you need three
Yeah.
motions and one of them's
Right.
gonna be subject to,
Sure.
okay? So is there anyone else here in favor? Is there anyone opposed? Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion that we grant the transfer license.
And I'll second the motion.
The motion made and seconded to transfer the license. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
I'll make a motion that we grant the pledge of the license.
And I'll second that motion.
So motion made and seconded to grant the pledge of license. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
I'll make a motion that we approve the change of manager pending a favorable police report.
And I'll second that motion.
There's a motion made and seconded to grant the change of manager subject to the receipt of a favorable police report. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Good luck.
Okay?
Thank you very much.
Speak to
Thank you.
Detective Fidero if they please.
Sure.
Martin Pelletier Investments, Fall River LLC, DBA The Tipsy Toboggan. How are you?
How are you? Carl Pelletier, 52 Jerome Street, Berkeley, Massachusetts, 02779 is my home address.
Okay. So, this is the transfer of the Tipsy Toboggan license.
Transfer and pledge as
And the
well.
pledge of the license as well. So with respect to that building, are you planning any renovations,
No.
any changes? It's really just a
Everything's
paper
staying, yeah,
transfer?
paper transfer, everything's staying the
Hours?
same. Hours are staying the
The
same as well.
same,
Yep.
any changes in what you're offering, or it's all gonna be the same?
Same offerings. Yep.
Okay, that's all good. Okay, we have a police report, and it's fine. We have no problem with you getting the license.
Perfect.
The question on the manager, who's gonna be the manager?
Myself.
Okay. Do you have any experience?
Yes, I've been a manager of record probably for the past 5 or 6 years with the Barrett's Restaurants organization.
Okay. Okay.
When you changed the waterfront, you were manager for a short
Yeah.
period there, right?
Yeah, and it was in the Ale House Fall River
Yeah,
Division
yeah.
and in their North Attleboro one as well.
So now with buying this business, you're going, how long you going, how many hours a week do you think you're gonna be on that property?
I can only imagine. Probably 50 to 60 hours at least.
That's a good thing. That's a good
How long
thing.
did Barrett's for?
6 years.
6 years?
Yeah.
Okay. And the pledge of the license,
Is going to the Bristol County Economic Development Organization.
right, okay. So there's a loan, it's a 7-year term loan, okay? You're leasing the property, right?
From my brother-in-law, correct?
From Mike Lund, right?
Yep, correct.
Okay. We have the pledge of the license and a copy of the note is already in the file. So this is pretty much ready. You've already closed on it, correct?
Yes, correct.
You're just waiting for the transfer of the
That is
license
correct,
to go.
yes.
All right. Everything appears to be here. There's no questions. It really is a simple transfer with the pledge. So.
And the manager.
And the manager, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Three of
it'll be
them.
three
Three of
things
them
again,
again,
but I mean,
yeah.
everything is here. It's very clean. It's not a issue. It's, nothing out of the ordinary. Is there anyone else here in favor? Is there anyone opposed? Are there any questions from the members of the
No
board?
questions.
Okay, are there any motions?
I'll make a motion that we approve the transfer of the license.
I'll second that motion.
There's a motion made and seconded to approve the transfer of the license. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye. I'll make a motion that we approve the pledge of license.
I'll second that motion.
There's a motion made and seconded to grant the pledge of the license. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye. And I make a motion that we approve the change of manager.
And I'll second that motion.
So a motion made and seconded to approve the change of manager. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Good
much.
luck.
All right.
Yes, thank you.
Transfer of license, change of location, change of manager. Vita Restaurant Group LLC, DBA 19 Prime Tapas, 19 Sullivan Drive, via Nildo Souza.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Madam Clerk. For the record, my name is Arthur Frank. I'm a lawyer with an address of 209 Bedford Street, Fall River, Massachusetts. Seated to my right is Mr. Leonildo Souza. He is a member and a manager of Vita Restaurant Group LLC, looking to do business as 19 Prime Tapas at 19 Sullivan Drive, the site of the former CAV restaurant. Mr. Souza intends to do some remodeling, but I think we've given the ABCC a budget of approximately $25,000. Seating and occupancy should remain about the same. I think the prior license allowed for 40 seats and an occupancy of 70. If you look at the plan that I submitted, it's the restaurant to engage patrons is on one level. There's a bar, there are tables, we have dry storage in the basement, and the previous occupant there, and it's in the legal notice that was published in the Herald News, we're also looking for the outside seating for consumption of food and alcohol. Mr. Souza is going to give you a brief description of his restaurant's theme and the hours of operation that he would ask this board to grant him.
How are you doing? Leo Souza, 106 David Street, Fall River, Mass. The hours of operation are going to be closed on Mondays. Tuesday to Sunday will be lunch from 11 to 3, dinner 5 to 10. I'm going to try to do brunch on Sundays from 10 to 2. We're doing a theme of international cuisine with an emphasis on tapas, which is small plates sharing with the customers. That's about it.
Mr. Souza's experienced restaurateur in the city, and his bar manager, Deanna DeCorpo, who is also here tonight, has put in a number of hours at Mesa 21. So we feel his team is experienced. He's properly capitalized. He likes the location. He's hoping to draw from the downtown lunch crowd during the day, and obviously, which would be a walking crowd, and then obviously at night, The parking space is opened up, and he feels there's adequate parking to handle his patrons.
Okay. The outdoor seating?
Yes.
You want to leave it, you would like to have what the prior owners had?
Yeah, I think
Same
it was
number of seats.
36.
I think it was 30-something seats, right? And the same thing, May 1st, October 15th?
Sounds good.
So, you're actually the manager though, correct?
I'll be one of the managers.
He's a manager of the LLC.
LLC, she's the manager of the license?
She will
No,
be
the
she'll be
business.
the bar manager.
Okay.
And
So-
she, if I'm not mistaken, let me check my application, I think Deanna is also a member of the LLC.
Yes, it is, it's here, it says it is.
Yep.
Of the business.
So, how many hours a week do you think you'll be here?
A lot. I don't know, maybe 30 to 40. I still work at Mesa, so 30 hours, 40 hours.
But the hours that she doesn't work, I'll be there.
Switch off.
Okay, no pledge of the license, correct?
No.
No financing?
We do have a small little loan with St. Michael's Credit Union.
Okay. As far as renovations go, is there anything structural, or is it all cosmetic?
Most cosmetic, but we're gonna just try to make the bar just a little bit bigger. Maybe 3 to 4 stools. Right now it's just longer,
But
yeah.
if you're gonna add on to it, is that on the plan?
I don't know if we put it on the plan.
Yeah, I've got 9 seats currently. We're looking to add more.
Probably try to get at least
We just
12.
need an inspection.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it has to reflect on the.
Yeah, it's gotta be on the petition.
Oh, that
That's-
makes sense.
Yeah, to be sent to Boston.
That's what you gave us.
Does that come 9?
6, 7, 9.
9. I mean, the issue with that is it's gotta be on the plan and it's gotta be in the application.
I guess the question is, are there currently 9 seats at that bar, or are you projecting 9?
Well, right now it looks about 6 to 7, so.
So maybe the 9
Is
that
it
might
covered?
be the
That-
final.
that may be your final.
That might, if that's the final number, that's the way it goes, that's the way it gets approved,
Okay,
okay?
that's fine.
You okay with that?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, because I didn't think that bar was.
I didn't
very
think it
small.
had.
It was small, yeah.
Yeah, that it could fit 9
Yeah.
seats.
So that must be with the new seating. All right. Everything else is here, it's fine. The application is complete, it's been approved by the police. When are you hoping to open? Obviously, once the license is approved.
Yes, well, we'd like to get her maybe sometime in June, late June, right after I get out of school, so I can
Yeah,
spend
once
some
you're
more
done with
hours.
school, yeah, all right.
Back to
June
July.
14th,
Is when school ends?
exactly.
Okay.
So I'll give myself another job.
So the license is being transferred to the LLC, correct?
That's right.
Okay.
It's currently Mr.
So
Souza's
again, it's
name.
his name,
Yeah.
right? So it's 3 motions again.
Okay.
The transfer of the license, the name, the location, and the change of the manager from Mr. Souza to her. Okay. Are there any questions, any further questions? Is there anyone else in favor? Is there anyone opposed?
I'll make a motion that we grant the transfer license.
And I'll second the motion.
All right, there's a motion made and seconded to grant the transfer of the license. Anyone in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion that we grant the change of location.
And I'll second the motion.
It's a motion made and seconded to grant the change of location. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion that we grant the change of manager.
And I'll second that motion.
The motion made and seconded to change the manager. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Good luck.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank
Let
you.
us know if we can help.
Just coming for dinner.
I love it. At this point in time, we have time set aside for citizen input. No one came down and approached us and asked that they be able to address the board. Is there anyone here that would like to address the board other than what's on the agenda? And no one responding, we'll go on to the next items. Old new business.
Miss Souza did arrive.
Oh, okay.
You wanted to do that before old business?
Yeah, that's fine. If you could come down, we're gonna go back to Blockapalooza.
Hello everyone, sorry I'm late, thank you for taking me. Monica Souza, One Government Center.
Okay, so this, I guess, is this, at least the second, right? Maybe more?
I wanna say it might be their fourth.
The fourth one.
Yeah.
So this is for Thursday, July 11th, 6 PM to 10 PM on South Main Street. Looks like it's according to the letter that we received from the mayor's office from Monica. It says that there are at least 4 businesses that would participate in the event, offering alcoholic beverages in an outdoor setting. Java House, Adagio's, Berta's, and Sado Asian Fusion. So this is for July, like it says, July 11th, from 6 PM to 10 PM. And 2 applicants actually filed,
Yes.
right?
And I have one in my office, which I'm sorry I forgot
Okay.
to bring to Carrie. And then Adagio's, Mondays, Tuesdays are good days for me to go out in the community. Unfortunately, they're closed, so
They're
I've
closed.
just been
Okay.
missing them.
No, but, I mean, we've had this before,
Yes.
and we know, they know how it works, of what they need to do.
Yep.
And Adagio's has been involved in the past.
They-
Right,
yeah. Yes,
they've done
they
it in the
have.
past. It says here that they, some of them, well, these 2 wanted just beer and wine. I would imagine the others, Adagio does a full bar, correct?
I believe so,
I think
yeah.
they normally do, I'm not sure what the Asian Fusion would do. But I think the application is coming from the city as a sponsor of the event. So I don't have an issue with that. I mean, it can be clarified even at the next meeting exactly who the participants are. But I think in principle, we can agree that it can be done. If the board's inclined, we can do that. And the hours, that's the typical hours that they've had.
6 to 10.
And so you have one more to submit, and you're still waiting for one more.
Yes, I'll
Okay.
go, if not tomorrow, definitely
Okay,
this
so
week.
I think it's been run success. Obviously, they have the police coverage, all that. They close the street off of that,
They
correct?
do, yeah, so that's why those businesses are invited to participate
Mhm.
in the block party, because access to them
It's really-
through traffic will be closed.
Is cut off. Okay.
No questions.
Fine with that. So I think what we could do, we just ask that by the next meeting, if you clarify who the participants are.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Okay.
Are there any questions?
No questions.
Is there anyone else here in favor? Is there anyone opposed?
I'll make a motion that we grant the 1-day permit for July 11th.
And I'll second that motion.
So motion made and seconded to grant. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Old new business, Sherwood Entertainment, 650 Plymouth Avenue, Alex Stylos. This is for the Plymouth Avenue, for the old Connell School. There was a license and they haven't done the work there yet. They've done some work, but it's not done. Mr. Silos had another meeting tonight in Taunton, and he sent an email to Kerry, and he also called me at my office to let me know that he is waiting for the funds from the sale of the Argosy High School, which is supposed to happen in June. And once that's done, then he intends to move forward with that, with this project. He said that's the next one on the agenda, but just didn't have the funds at this point. So he said the school is supposed to close, it was supposed to close in January, and they pushed it off to June.
He was just here a month or 2 ago.
Yeah, he wasn't here that long ago, so that's what he was asking, if we could just continue it.
Sure.
Okay?
So I'll make, you need a motion for that?
Yes.
Make a motion that we continue the status of the Sherwood Entertainment license till next month's meeting.
And I'll second that motion.
So motion made and seconded to continue that matter to the June agenda. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
The Abbey Grill, 100 Rock Street, Andrew Lombardi.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Madam Clerk, Mr. Roth. For the record, my name is Arthur Frank. I'm a lawyer with the address of 209 Bedford Street, Fall River, Massachusetts. And as you're aware, I represent the Abbey Grill and Mr. Lombardi. If you've been reading the Herald News, you know that he's currently conducting some extensive rehabilitation work on the spire of the church. And as we discussed last time, there was a question as to whether this board has discretion in allowing somebody with a all-alcoholic restaurant license to just conduct functions. And in speaking with your clerk, I believe that was resolved by the secretary of the ABCC, that you do have that discretion.
The executive director, yeah.
The executive director, Mr. Sacramone, and it would entail giving a presentation of a business plan. I think that's the way he explained it. So if that's what this board would want to see, I can come back next month with a full business plan, and the board can decide. And obviously, his renovations will be much more along. He tells me that he's getting a lot of activity, people wanting to book weddings.
That was the niche of the place when you opened the Great Hall side, and that was the drawing for her. So I think he's on the right track anyways.
Well, I have no problem if you can submit that next month, but he's gotta be here also.
Yeah.
We want him sitting here.
Okay.
So,
So
again,
we're gonna,
that would be table it to the next month for the submission of the plan.
Sure. I'll make a motion that we table the Abbey Grill matter to the next month's meeting with the submission of a
And
business plan.
Mr. Lombardi present.
And Mr. Lombardi present, correct, thank you.
and I'll second that motion.
So motion made and seconded to table to the next meeting for submission of a plan and the Mr. Lombardi to be present. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The office, a cigar bar, 200 Bank Street, Tanya Hebert.
Tanya Hebert, 188 Tremont Street, Fall River, Mass.
Okay. Tell us what's going on.
So I have run into a little bit of a snag with the licensing, not necessarily licensing, but my going forward with opening.
Can you speak a little louder, please, so they
Sure.
can pick that up?
While we have finalized our architectural plans, we've begun, in order to begin our build-out, we were informed by the Tobacco Commission that the private license is not enough. We have to form a nonprofit in order to actually open the establishment. So we are in contact with an attorney out of New Bedford, Lena Michelle, to open a 501c7 so that we can comply with the state laws. And we were told that the application process has to go through the IRS, and we are in that process now, and hoping that we will get approval as soon as possible.
Why would you need a nonprofit?
Because of the smoking with the alcohol. This is what I've run into. If you can tell me differently, I would be greatly appreciated.
Maybe we have.
Yeah, because of because it's a private club license.
It's a private club license,
Correct.
so that's probably the difference.
Yes.
Okay, I think what we would need is something from your attorney.
Okay.
In writing, addressed to the board, outlining exactly what the process is.
Sure.
And what she expects it to be as far as a timetable goes.
Okay.
Because it's been going on a long, long time now.
Yes.
And so I think it either needs to come to a head or it needs to move on.
Okay.
So I would think maybe for the next meeting,
Sure.
have it submitted, get it submitted sooner than the meeting.
Oh, absolutely.
So we can review it prior.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
I agree with
don't know
you.
how you people feel.
Mhm.
Is that all right?
Yep.
You okay?
Yes, absolutely.
I'll make a motion that we table the office, a cigar bar, to our next meeting.
And I'll second that motion.
Okay, there's a motion made and seconded to table to the next meeting for submission of the letter from the attorney. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
St. John's Holy Ghost Association, 1975 Pleasant Street. Leonardo Viogo.
Hi, members of the board, I'm back. And we have our blueprints.
You must have good news.
We have our blueprints. You guys get them?
Yeah, we got the
We
blueprints
did.
right here.
Yes,
Yes,
we
we
did.
have it all.
Leonardo Diago, 306 Jefferson Street in Fall River, Mass.
Okay, so now we got blueprints.
Yes.
What do you think reality is? as far as the build-out?
Only banging nails over there.
Okay, by the end of the year, we should be, I have a plan by June of 2019, the building should be completely done.
19?
19 or 20?
Oh, 20,
Oh.
20.
But are you going to open in segments so that if you
Yes,
have-
yes, yes,
So
we
are you
are.
hoping by the fall of
Of this
you're
year,
gonna
that
have
we have the first floor done.
Yeah,
That's
the
the plans
first
for the
floor.
first floor. And I
Yeah.
gotta ask you another question. The second floor is gonna have the same thing. Do we have to do another application for a bar? Because it's gonna be where the first floor is, the second floor is gonna be exactly.
He's got, yeah, your architect can amend the current
They
plan.
can amend
Okay,
the plan,
okay.
you don't have to go through the whole process.
Okay,
and then
that's
you
what
can
I want
file
to
a
know,
motion
because
to
that's the first floor.
Yep.
And then the second floor is gonna be exact same thing.
Yep. So you could go ahead with this,
Mm-hmm.
come back hopefully and say, we're ready, come inspect.
Yep.
So you can see the
Oh, you should
Christmas
see
tree.
the difference.
And then when you're ready to do that second floor, you'll be able to just amend the plan and file, like one of the people did tonight, file to alter the premises.
Okay, okay.
The license would
Mhm.
just be altered.
Okay,
To expand
great.
what the license covers.
So great, so now we can go forward with bringing that to Boston and having
I have a
everything.
question, because I don't think I was here. Did you guys approve it, or did it stay in limbo?
No, I think it was approved, it was approved subject
To the plans.
submission of the plan, so
Mhm.
To the best
I
of
think,
our knowledge.
I think what we
Yeah.
could just do is to just have another motion to approve with the plan submitted, and that way Kerry can send it to Boston now.
Yeah, that's what we were waiting for, was
Yeah,
the blueprints.
The blueprints.
Yes.
Yep. I give you a lot of credit, because you've done, I
Yes.
know you've
Thank
done
you,
the work
thank you.
yourself. and-
Thank
and that's
you,
a
thank
And
you.
you've been here
huge
every time we've
project.
asked you to come.
The Last time I was sick,
You
I
were
called
sick,
her up and I
right.
says, I couldn't make it. It
Your
was-
persistence is.
Yeah, I know you've,
well,
you're dedicated, I hope the people of your club
Well,
appreciate
this is in memory of those who passed on County Street, that's
I
why.
understand that,
Yeah.
but you've been
And then my
true to what
soup,
you
and then
said.
my main concern is my soup kitchen. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
We're gonna
after.
get you open somehow. right?
You'll get
We gotta
open.
get you open.
You're getting there, you're getting there.
I'm gonna go pan some soup out for you.
I'm sure it's much better than it was last year when we went, when everything was ripped out. and just
Oh,
laid
yeah,
on the
oh,
floor,
yeah,
so you were
oh.
shoveling it out.
Yes, yes, yes.
Right?
And I still didn't find your earring, but you never know. You never know, it might pop up. Somebody might think it's a real diamond. I say, ooh.
So I guess we
maybe
would
it's
need
gone
to
then.
approve with plans and then the manager.
Sure.
Anyone else here in favor? Is anyone opposed? Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the license with the plans that were just recently submitted.
And I second that motion.
The motion made and seconded to approve with the plans that have been submitted. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
I'll make a motion that we approve the manager.
Motion made and seconded to approve the manager. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations.
Thank
Let's
you,
get you there, my
thank
friend.
you, thank you very
Persistence
much.
pays off.
Thank you.
I own the place that I
Yeah. Dedicated.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, next item on the agenda, Bethany's Event Center, 1193 Pleasant Street. Bethany Shaker.
Mr. Chairman, once again, good evening. Members of the board, Mr. Roth, Ms. Ayash. For the record, my name is Arthur Frank. I'm a lawyer with an office at 209 Bedford Street. I represent Bethany's Event Center. Bethany Shaker is with me. We were last before the board on, I think it was April the 17th, and there were some questions with respect to some police calls to that area of Pleasant Street, and one of the things that we had questioned was that it seemed that many of the calls on that call sheet didn't have anything to do with her establishment. And I went back and looked again at my notes, both from the day before when she and I met, and then when we appeared before this board on 11/18. And her intention always was that neither, and I think the board had wanted this, neither her father or her uncle or her grandfather was going to be on the staff, and they are not. She was going to limit the operation to showers, birthday parties, possibly political functions, have 10 employees at the max, being tip certified and Serve Safe certified, and she would run the restaurant from 11 to 11. But when she did a function, she wanted to be able to go to 1. And then according to my notes, that's what this board voted, 11 to 11 for the restaurant, 11 to 1 events only, and that you put her on 120 days probationary period, and that the monitor functions during the probationary period. Bethany would be the manager, was approved 3-0. And again, these recent reports, I also interviewed her father this week, and in one of the police reports, he talks about a fellow by the name of Stanley Doan, who for some reason the officer either infers that that's the actual bar manager. It wasn't. He's the property manager. He works for Mr. Shaker to take care of the apartments that are above the bar. And on the night that this one incident occurred and Mr. Shaker was there was a problem, there was a plumbing problem, and he and Mr. Doan were there to fix the plumbing problem. He wasn't at the bar to take any type of official action in the operation of the bar or the restaurant, or to be there in any supervisory capacity.
Okay. Anything else you want to add?
That's all I have for you now, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so what you're here for now is actually just to discuss what's going on over there.
Right.
It's not a formal hearing before the board.
Okay.
Since the time that you were here last, the police have been going in and out of the restaurant, and the detective is here. I'm gonna ask him to come down and to give us a report of what they found since he was there, okay? Just state your names, please, for the record.
Officer Marcus Myers. Detective Brian Cabral.
Okay. So could you just tell us what you've encountered, please?
Yes, since the last meeting, we randomly have sent officers to check the establishment. Those dates where they found violations was on March the 29th, May the 4th, May the 7th, at which time, when the officers went in, there were patrons in the bar drinking without, the last incident, they were shooting pool with no food. Another time, they were just at the bar drinking drinking at the bar.
Okay. Which, according to what Mr. Frank just said, is not the way it was supposed to be, correct? And I think at the last meeting, Ms. Shakers clearly said, I always make sure they order food when they're there. So there was no food, correct?
Okay, just do that.
On the 7th, Officer Pius was there, and they observed the male and female playing pool and drinking beers from green bottles. That was on the 7th. On the 4th, Officer Derek Amaral and Officer Mike Pavo went in. They observed 2 males at the bar. We observed that both males were consuming alcohol. Behind the bar was a female, later identified as Jessica Brophy, who stated she was the bartender. There was no current manager on the establishment at that time. The bartender was unable to produce a valid liquor license.
Detective, on the March 29th incident, it says approximately at 11 p.m. How much time do you think you spent there?
How long was the officer there?
Yeah, you figure. And the reason why I'm asking, Mr. Chairman, why I'm asking
I'd
is
have to refer to the call notes as well, that's in that packet there.
because if we're supposed to be serving food till 11 o'clock, and they're going in there at 11 o'clock, so that means the only way they should have been open after 11 o'clock serving alcohol is that there was a function in place, correct?
Right.
Right.
Okay. And there was no function that night, is that correct?
Not on the 29th.
And I believe, in speaking with the detective too, I think some of the calls that last time we were represented that it was because of the apartments upstairs. I think the police have a
Yeah, there
different
was
opinion.
3 medical calls that had nothing to do with the bar, it had to do with residents upstairs.
Right, so I think the issue, and I'm not sure the license was a temporary license, I think we acknowledge that, and it's gone on. And since this last hearing, the last meeting, when it's been published over, people are seeing it on TV, the phone calls we get, it's unbelievable. People are calling in saying, that that I've been there, I've done this, I've been there. We go to drink, we don't go. I get calls in my office about it. And you can sit there and look amazed, but the one thing I'm gonna ask you to do, Ms. Shaker, is you gotta be respectful of this board.
I am 100%.
No, you're not.
Of course
The
I
last,
am.
I got several calls the last time about the way you spoke to this board. You may not realize it, but you were very cocky. And the other thing that I don't appreciate is Mr. Shaker Senior threatening people, coming to my law office, yelling and screaming at my secretary. He's been to the city hall harassing Carrie about the license. That's gotta stop.
That has nothing to do with me.
Well, it has to do with your family.
That's not right.
And I'm pretty sure.
Well, you're right, it's not right
It's not
that
right.
it's brought to my office, my private office, that my staff has to deal with that.
This is the first I'm hearing about it. So.
No, I didn't bring it up before, Bethany, you're right. But Carrie can testify, and the department can testify that he has come into the building about the license. He started out by saying that Gary and Mr. Jake Shaker have nothing to do with it, so he shouldn't be involved in it.
He's not involved in it.
I'm pretty sure when we approved this license back in whenever.
2015.
We made it very clear that no one was, outside of Bethany, no one was gonna be involved, no one was gonna intervene. And I don't feel that's the case.
Like I
That's
said,
only my
this is the
opinion.
first I'm hearing that he.
When you came to this license last, your whole family was here. Everyone was saying that they were going to, this was your baby. This was yours. We weren't getting involved. We weren't gonna be involved at all. We were gonna do what's right. We were gonna stay out of it. And from what the chairman's telling me and what's happening and what the police are telling us, that's not the case. Some of your family members are still harassing their chairman in his office. Some
Like
of
I
your
said,
family-
this is the
And
first.
you may not know it, but we're just telling you that's what's happening, Bethany. So you might say you not know, I understand, maybe you don't know that.
I'm not blaming you
We're
for
not
that.
blaming you,
I'm
but we're
just
telling you
making
what's
the point.
happening, of course. And just like with this license, last month, you sat here in front of us with your attorney, and you said, when the chairman asked you, what do you think you're approved to do? And you said, whatever my license says. That's a lie, because your license says that you can only be open for restaurants only till 11 o'clock. And on the night of the 29th, you didn't have a function, and you were open up after 11 because they were there afterwards, right? There were
No,
police reports.
the-
So you're telling me the police report's wrong?
They came in, the reason why they stayed later was because the police were in there.
So at 10:30, someone ate dinner, they were just finishing up playing a game of pool. They were
There was
eating
nothing on the
peanuts
bar.
and M&Ms, and there was no food. Do we have a menu? This board have been given a menu. Have you ever seen a menu
There-
in that place, detective or officer? Have you seen a menu in that place?
It's all listed on.
No.
Well, I think at this point, we are the licensing board, obviously. We take direction from the police department. Do you have a recommendation, what you would like to see happen?
The police department would like a formal hearing.
A formal hearing? Okay. All right, if that's the case, we would have to schedule a hearing in the coming weeks or coming month or whatever. And it would probably be on the violations of those last 3 that you did. Correct?
Would that be a hearing separate and apart from your normal monthly meeting?
No.
It would be on a regular
It's
monthly
on a
meeting?
regular
Okay.
meeting night. Yep, it would be a show cause hearing.
Okay.
And obviously, at that time, the board will do whatever the board deems is appropriate. I would just respectfully ask, and I think I've said this before, and I don't think it's inappropriate to say it. I grew up with your uncle. I know your uncle. I don't like being in this position either. I don't like having to bring people in and threaten. I don't want to threaten people, but we need to enforce the law. But I don't like being made a fool of either. I don't appreciate it.
I understand.
And I think you should understand that. We're here, yes, we do get a stipend for being here, but we don't sit on this board to be harassed by people in our private lives.
Not for
or anything of the
$48
nature.
every 2 weeks, I'm telling you that.
So, I mean, it is what it is, and I think your uncle is here. You actually own the building, correct?
I'm
Jeff?
one of them. We own it, it's an LLC that owns it.
That owns it, okay. So that's fine. We don't want to put anybody out of business, but no one's going to make a fool out of us or call the police liars. You can, and I think I said the last time, don't be cute and stretch things and make them work to your, we never have seen a menu. You have a board there, well, that's fine. Who's the chef? When do they work? Do you have records of them being paid salaries for the chef? You said you were going to hire 10 people.
The max.
How many people are there? Those are things we want to know. Because it's coming to surface, and since, like I said, since it was brought forth last month, the calls are coming in from elected officials, neighbors, concerned citizens, people from that neighborhood, the Flint Neighborhood Association. The spotlight's on you now. And I think your family can attest to what happened the last time when that happened. So you better, corral everyone and get everyone on the same page with you. And I mean, how many hours a week do you spend there?
I'm in and out of there all the time. I go back at night. Unfortunately, I wasn't there that night. I just left, so.
All right, so I think what we just need, you have something?
Yeah, about the events too. How many events have you had? And have you notified the police?
No, because
you've had the events.
I was under the impression I had to notify them if it went past 11 p.m. Like if I had to hire a police detail from 11 p.m. to 1, but I don't stay open past that.
When was the last time you had an event in the place?
A month and a half. Month and a half, yeah.
Okay. I think some of those things I just suggested, that's what we're going to be looking for at this hearing, to see how it's been operated since it was granted. How many events have you had? How many employees? Those types of things. And the police, I mean, the record will speak for itself. I mean, the officers will be asked to be here as well. And just remember that in a crisis, the police are the ones that will protect you. I mean, they're there to make sure, number one, that you're safe and your patrons are safe, but they're also there to make sure the law's followed. They're the ones that are on the front line, and we usually follow, and Attorney Frank can tell you that. We normally follow the recommendations of the police. So I think, you got some time. I don't know if it'll be next month, if we have a big agenda again next month, maybe it'll be July, but whenever it can get scheduled, we will do that. And it's a serious matter. I mean, it's a very serious matter.
And this board has a record, I mean, the 10 years that I've been here, that we work with our licensees. I think it would have been very easy for us 2 years ago. I think the police department might have supported it, that we wouldn't have gave you the license. It wasn't a slam dunk, I don't think, 2 years ago.
No.
So I think this board worked with you 2 years ago, and it's, like the chairman said, I think we're at a point now where we're definitely not on the same page, no doubt. After reviewing the notes from the previous meeting, after the statements from the last meeting here, and if we're not all on the same page, there's no way this is going to work, because there's definitely some issues, whether you disagree or not. All these phone calls that have come in the last 3 weeks aren't coincidence, right? We don't expect that someone said, flip the switch because they're going in front of the licensing board to make the phone calls. These are issues that are happening. I think you should bring your employees here to stick up for yourself and your business. We want to see the employees that are working for you. We want to see some people that have gone and eat there. Bring them in and state your claim, right? We're here to help. I think I said that to your uncle 2 years ago, right, Mr. Shaker? When we spoke, we wanted to give you an opportunity. I think we did 2 years ago. In my opinion, I don't think we've stuck by what we approved. So we need to organize. We need to get the house in order if you want to stay open in business, in my opinion.
And I haven't given my typical speech in a long time. A license is not a right, it's a privilege, and it can be revoked at any time. So just because you have that license doesn't mean you die with it, okay? And look up and down Pleasant Street, how many licenses we've revoked in the past. If it comes, we don't want it to come to that, so let's get it together. And you know what? at least be civil to one another, correct? Okay, that's all I'm asking.
We'll wait for your notice, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next item is the legal notice deposit. Mr. Roth has something to say on that.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Part of the evaluation of the department, we're looking at the licensing, the zoning board of appeals and planning board all do legal notices, and it's to the tune of about, in our budget, to the tune of about just under $30,000. Mass General Law, Section 53G and a half allows for the boards to take in a deposit for specific items that are direct reimbursables. This is not a fee, it is a deposit. And I'm looking at proposing to the planning board, the zoning board of appeals, and the licensing board that we look at establishing a deposit requirement when an application is submitted. There's an application fee, and then a deposit for the legal advertising. I've been going through and looking at the number of applications, the fees for what they're charging, and mind you, the legal advertisement keeps on going up, up, and up. It doesn't seem to ever stop. So I'm meeting with the three boards this month to propose this. And then one of the things part of the board's procedures I would write that, include that in any board procedure, that we would look at accepting, that we would look at requiring a deposit for the legal ad. And the way that typically works, and I can take, when I was planning director in Fairhaven, the planning board would take in an application fee, which goes to the general fund, and then a deposit for legal ads, engineering, and mailing, because we did certified mails. Mind you, I don't have conservation in here because an applicant's required to do certified mail and a legal ad and present them at the meeting. So the way it would work is we just take the legal ad, and if it's 5 applicants, we divide that ad by 5, and let's say that's, for round numbers, we establish the advertising deposit is $200. The ad comes in and there's at $600, and there's 4 applicants. It's divided equally, and then the balance of that, once the application is approved, is then refunded proportionally to each of those applicants. And I've discussed this with Ms. Sahadi in the Treasurer's Department about looking at setting this up. And she's in support of this. We looked at this, and this is something that can be done administratively with the various boards and the Treasurer's Office, because it is not a fee, it is a direct deposit for a specific purpose, and then whatever money is not used is then refunded to each applicant.
On approval or denial, for that matter, right?
Correct, approval or denial. We can establish a percentage if we want to service charge, essentially a 5% or 10% for the cost of administering it.
So that would have to be written into our rules and regulations, so correct?
Correct, so I would need to insert that into all the rules and regulations.
But once
of
you
the
had
three
it
boards.
actually in the final form, it would have to come to us to approve it, correct?
Correct, and I'd like to do that in June. Because
I mean, I think in
I want
principle,
to
I don't
implement
have-
this.
I don't have a problem
I need
with
to
it.
implement this
Yeah.
July,
So for July 1st,
this
so the fiscal year?
Yes.
You want to get it in?
And-
Personally, I don't have a problem with it, I think it's fine, it's an expense that the people should pay. That's part of the expense of applying. I don't have an issue with that. So is that something Carrie's gonna have to take care of as the clerk to the licensing, or does the money all does it get paid to a different place?
No, everything gets paid through our office, and so.
So it goes to the planning office?
Through the department,
Yep.
which is planning, conservation.
Right.
So between the three, there's 3.
So there'd really be one account for all of that? Or is
There's
there a separate
150
one for
There's
each?
one 53G account that we
Yeah.
have, And essentially it comes in and it's a mechanism of tracking. You track it on a spreadsheet. So we just assign it would be, I don't know which ones on this agenda require
Or a publication.
a publication. Was it the transfer of
You can use
license?
6 if you want, just as six for an example.
Yeah, we would say, Vita Restaurant,
Mhm.
$200. Viacorp, I think the transfer is also. We would take those, put them in 200. Once they're approved, once the ad comes in, it's like, okay, the
140 for the ad, we give them back $60.
140 for the ad, you give them back $60. I'm just using round numbers.
Yeah, no, I
How do I give them this money back?
Well, we can do it's done through a refund.
Yeah.
They do not need vendor numbers because we don't 1099.
But it would be done
other-
through the treasurer's
So
office,
get it
correct?
back,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
So you would probably have to notify them that these people are due,
We
whatever.
we have to just send down that, from,
Request or
from
whatever.
X, whatever the deposit account
Yeah.
is, refund, Viacorp, blah, 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 or whatever, with name and address, refunds, $60.
Yep, okay.
So,
Well, I
makes
think
sense.
in principle,
Yeah.
it sounds fine. So I don't have a problem with that, so I guess if you bring something to us for the June meeting, we could approve it.
okay.
Yeah.
The only thing Carrie has your procedures, rules and regs?
I do have.
Yes.
Okay, so then I'll just look at.
And I'm assuming,
Yeah.
there's a lot of surrounding towns that are doing it this way outside of Fairhaven.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be good for us to bring up, if you don't bring it up at our next meeting, let's bring up the towns that are doing it, the New Bedfords or the Taunton's, the ones that we can, because we've done that in the past, I think a lot of the prior to you getting here, when and more with fees, this isn't a fee, I know, but when we're grabbing money per se,
There's
Want
always
people to
a
know.
bubble.
we
But
want
there's
people to know
precedent out
that
there
Florida
for
is
it.
the only one doing it, because this community tends to think that they don't need to be charged anything.
And it's not something that we're making money off
Correct.
of, it's to cover expenses.
It's to
Right.
cover a direct expense. It is to cover the legal ads.
Which makes a heck of a lot of sense.
Just to put in perspective, your legal ad bill, you will not be able to cover your legal ads
What we get.
Yeah?
this year. Your legal ad budget, based on the last bill we paid, which is not for this meeting or the next meeting, you have $83 left out of 3,000.
And the state still only allows paper publication, right? That's an option.
Right, it has to be.
Right.
Yeah.
So fortunately, we are
Yes.
one department, so the planning side will pick up the rest of the legal ads for the
Mhm.
year.
All right,
Makes sense.
I think that's fine.
I agree.
So,
Good
and
stuff.
just to put it in perspective, the planning ads for zoning board of appeals and planning board are in excess of $20,000.
I was gonna say, when you're when the town's busy, there's gonna be a lot of legal, I mean.
Right, in the Herald News, I just had a legal ad for an estate published, it was almost $600. The same ad had to be, the same length, was published in the Taunton Gazette, it was $280, the same ad.
Same owner too.
Same owner.
Oh, yeah, I know.
It's
So it
bad.
varies, so we have a very expensive
Yeah.
print, which it is what it is, it's an expense.
We see it
So
on
we're
the
not making
advertising
any
guide,
money
the
on it
credit
yet.
union. I mean, I called them just for token to get a price, and, I mean, it's getting crazy. And there's no control, there's no caps, there's no limit. I mean, they're gonna keep getting us until the paper doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately.
Okay, all right, thank you, so we'll look forward to that in June.
Yes.
So the last item we have is the approval of the February 20th meeting minutes.
Make a motion that we approve the February 20 minutes.
Second the motion.
There's a motion made and seconded to approve. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second the
So
motion.
motion made to adjourn, which is seconded. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.